Hello, everybody. Welcome to this segment of AKT Celebrity Reads. I'm your host, Alexis K. Tyler. I'm not going to be here that long. I just wanted to come back really quickly to confirm some things just from last night. It totally amazed me and blew my mind. And so I want to go over them and then go over a little bit more with King Nipsey Hussle and King Von. Remember, I'm a psychic medium. I speak to those that are physically dead yet still alive, that bring messages from here to the other side and come back and forth. They want to share information with me. Isn't that beautiful? Do you see the blue orbs coming out of there? Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So, these are for entertainment purposes only. I'm glad you loved the video last night. But Nipsey wanted me to let you know that these particular entities are real. Evil entities are real, and there are rituals done on the movies to create these entities or bring them in and then create a fake character, a cartoon character that you think is just for entertainment. But it's really a real demonic entity that's very powerful, and they move through what the television screen, different pictures and images that you see, music that you see associated with the soundtrack of every movie, and then the movie screen, and with the emotions that they trigger for you to feel. They then open you up in your chakras, in the first chakra, and with fear or passion intensity, but those open you up to a lot of very heavy fear. And then the music helps to open you up and intensify the experience, and you feel it even more, and it then causes the demon to be able to lock in and follow you from wherever you are. Hi, Gwen. So I wanted to get back into something else, some things that happened already. Remember I told you last night in that reading that King Von, as well as Nipsey, told me that they were dealing with a lot of anger, rage, and revenge for what had been done to them. So they were moving through this energy as well, releasing the psychopathic, murderous type of entities they're associated with now, and ancestors that come over here to fuck shit up right now. But also these same type of psychopathic, demonic entities and energies are being released in King Von's camp, as well as King Nipsey Hussle's camp right now. So it's going to be a lot of murder and mayhem and more killing around both cases with Nipsey and Von. I said also the lady Skylar that was pregnant by Von, I kept feeling she got pregnant between the very end of October, the very beginning of November, right before Von was shot and killed downtown Atlanta, and that she was going to have that baby between July and August. Like right now, I felt it right now, like last night, between last night, right last night or today, moving into August. I knew it was July or August, and I felt that. Now, if you can confirm it to me, because I don't know if it's true yet, but somebody sent me a message, and somebody said that it was on an Instagram page that Skylar had that baby between late over last night or early in the morning. Confirm it, because I don't want to just say, I was right and not know the facts. That could be just a rumor. Okay, so Yvette's saying, yes, she had that baby. When did she have the baby? Do you know? Did she say when she had that baby? What was in the past couple of days? Was it last night, the night before? Was it today? Because it's still in the same energy. I'm still in the 4th of July readings, and this is extending, just like when I was saying about Nipsey and the revenge coming and the anger and the rage. And, they still haven't set a trial date for Eric Holder. I got to come back and do that reading as well. If they did set a trial date for Eric Holder, please let me know. Okay, Kayla posted it today. That's what I was told that Kayla posted it. So, so confirmation for that. Thank you. Also, I said last night, Nipsey told me there was getting ready to be scandal and trouble coming out about abuse, and it was revolving around sex and physical abuse with the NFL. Hey, Monica. I posted it because I think this was an Atlanta football team today. You can Google right now, and you can confirm if I got this right or not. That's an NFL team. There's a player, a black, I think is that football player? It's here in Atlanta that was just fired. Why? Because he just got into a scandal with having sex with a child. Now, I don't know if the child is a little boy or a little girl, but they said because of the age of the child, they are not releasing all of the circumstances around it or the name of the child. There's no face of the child. But this is something, well, they do this. They do this. They have sex with multiple women and they deal with drugs and homosexuality and bisexuality and beat women and beat men. Hey, Lizette. They deal with the drug addicts. They deal with a lot of dirty shit. And many times it doesn't come out, but in the past few years it has been coming about how these men are very violent to their women. A lot of these athletes are very violent to their women. And this, when I posted it, it had just been released by 11 Alive News today. So that was early this afternoon. But remember, I said it last night. So, when people, which I'm not going to get too deep in it, with this shit, I don't really give a fuck, but anymore. But people like, she just goes to read the news and then she'll say what she saw on the news and then she'll say she said it. There's no way I could have saw this on the news because I said it last night. I said it about the baby a couple of days ago and I started saying I saw that was summer. She was having that baby July, August. I've been saying that about the lady that's pregnant by King Von. So she hadn't had it yet. So how could I have looked in the news and then say, oh yeah, she's going to have it and she hadn't had it? How did I say this last night and then I said a couple of days ago about the violence coming up with Nipsey and King Von. I even said what? I've been saying it for the past few months now. A lot of violence was going on in California. Didn't I? Around Nipsey Hussle and getting vengeance around him. There's a secret war that you all didn't know about, that I knew about, and I had heard about. And then you see they shot the young man. It's really sad. He's so young to get caught up in some shit. Like a lot of times when people are young, you can't tell them anything. They're delusional. They think you know everything. But how can you know everything when you're young and you don't have any life experience and nobody older with wisdom can tell you anything? A lot of these young people just think they know every fucking thing. So the young man that was killed about the Nipsey Hussle mural was a friend of the one who actually defaced and disrespected the Nipsey Hussle mural. He didn't even do it. He was friends with the one who did it, but they didn't shoot him. So I don't really understand why they shot the friend of the one that kept disrespecting Nipsey's mural and laughing and bragging was Capone something and saying that he did it. Putting his name out there saying he did it and thought it was funny and cute while he's on the live talking to his friend. I don't know why. That seems kind of weird to me. Like, why would he ask his friend, what would you do if somebody finds your location right now and catch you slipping? You don't have nothing on you. I thought that was really weird because how would they know where he is? I don't know if he was on a live and he had his location visible or he hid the location. And I don't know what that means, Kelly. CTE is widespread in football and it's one of the causes of violent behavior. I don't know what CTE means. But right, he says that he's looking and he's looking at someone and then it's pop, 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 pop. So it must have been someone that didn't drive up. They walked up on him and shot him because it happened so quick as he's looking. So this was a walk up type of a shooting. Yes, you can tell, Charlie said they walked up and did this very, very quickly and then got the fuck off. And I'm just like, someone had to know where he was. Again, unless he made his location public. And then they told someone and somebody drove up and caught him while they're up there laughing. But I guess, they thought they got away with it by doing this so long. There's a couple of things I want to get into. And then I'm going to go. I can't stay too long. But I want to mention these things and then I'll get into them deeper. When I mentioned, it's a couple of things. Tookie Williams come back up when I reposted the Easy E reading, and Easy took me to the barbecue to meet Tookie, which was a great honor, a wonderful experience. Such a very deep, very brainy, very compassionate, big-hearted, intellectual man, king. That's one of the California kings, uh, Tookie Williams. I have a lot of respect and admiration for him. I hate that because this could have been avoided. They didn't have to execute this man, but they wanted to. Not so much because they felt that he was guilty of all these things or so wrong for what he had done. There was a political agenda, and also what Tookie Williams told me, that was um, a mandate, a technology agenda, a biological warfare program agenda. He calls it the Terminator cell or the Terminator gene, but really what this is, because he said Arnold Schwarzenegger wanted his genes. He wanted the gene pool. He said when someone's in prison, or basically everybody, and people don't know, especially when you're doing these DNA tests, these swaps, they're getting everybody's DNA in an entertaining way because you want to know who you are and what you are and where you're from. So they get them. They knew, because he told me it was maybe they found someone 3 generations back from him that was male, but then one was also female. Then they got another elder of his that might have been 5 generations back. Then they went 10 generations back. He has a lot of Native American ancestor warriors as well as African ones, even showing me Olmec, maybe down through Mexico. They got these genes from him because they wanted to know how could this man have such an exquisite specimen of a body with no steroids and no types of drugs, and he wanted that DNA. And when somebody is in prison and hospital, they give everything to you. They get all your DNA, your blood from you. They know who is who and what is what. But they'll just tell you you're just a nigger. You're nobody's special. Nobody's going to check for you. You don't have any power. But they really want to keep people isolated, people of color isolated, so they can get that blood. He said plasma from the blood. He said there's a lot of money. You can tell me if I'm wrong or not, Gwen, since you're in the medical field. He said the plasma has so much genetic and healing and regenerative properties in the plasma. There are certain people's plasma that they want, especially people of color, because you can interchange it with any race. If the blood matches, if the organ is a match. And they take this blood and literally drink it, as well as eat these organs, but this plasma, they said they love the plasma. Okay, so it has stem cells in the plasma. Yes, and he said that they took his. He said when he said Terminator cell, it doesn't mean Terminator cell like terminate him. It terminates any negative genes or recessive or weaker genes that have traits that may produce aging or disease. They wanted his because it could regenerate his body. Okay, Alvin says that that's true because his cousin had a rare blood type and they did nothing to save her, and they took all of her organs within minutes of her death, and that plasma center is right in the middle of the inner city. Yes, they paid him a lot of money for that plasma. It's usually people that need the money or broke, or I don't know if they can use alcohol or drugs and still get the plasma. So they wanted that man. He said they took his blood and his cells and tissues, his organs. They studied them, and he said that they cleaned them and reduced them down. And he actually showed me seeing this man getting some shots, literally getting shots in his body to not just regenerate the cells, but shift this man's DNA. Alter the DNA so this man would stop aging and shift the cell structure of his muscles so that they regenerate and build them like literally on top of what his basic genetic structure is, without having to take all the drugs, because over time you're taking those steroids, you can't do that too long. It kills you, it creates cancer, brain cancers, it metastasizes and moves throughout the body. That's why, Alvin, they're in those black areas. And the black people don't know what they're worth and who they are. He said that also those genes turn off and on, and they know how to, the same way they know how your cells give life and they can help you, which a lot of times they won't help you. They also know how to take your life because they know the structure. He said also alien technology, advanced alien technology working with the telomeres in the cell. He said there's more than 2 genetic strains. They lie. They know there's actually what they call the alien strain. And they know the so-called blacks are connected to, all races are connected to alien strains. But the ones, and all black people are not connected to the same alien strain or in the same ethnic, different ethnic groups for black people. So depending on where you come from in the world, and even if you are born in a particular place in the United States, you could still not know that in your DNA base, you could have someone from Ethiopia, you can have someone from Saudi Arabia, you have someone from Israel, and not know that those particular ETs that are associated with those beings there, based on astrology, numerology, astronomy, will come right to you wherever I'm in Atlanta/Atlantis. And many times you don't activate it and listen because you're told that's wrong. You're supposed to call Jesus. Okay, Gwen says, yes, telomeres can cause aging and contribute to how the body responds. If the telomere starts to shrink and the telomere starts to die. So as you open it and you regenerate it, it like opens gates in the body, gates you don't see, which I teach about in vagina power, penis power, and sperm power, the other bodies, the etheric bodies that will come down and regenerate this one. I can't get into it now, but I'm going to come back because I have a special treat for the men, because I'm not saying the women didn't pass it around, but I started getting, as my videos are viral again, a lot of men are passing around penis power, sperm power. It's a lot of men that love me, even though there's a lot of men that don't like me and don't like what I'm saying. So I'm going to come back when I do the vagina power, I don't know, maybe a few days, a week or so, because I got to finish these readings for Vaughn and K.I. and Nipsey, and then Tookie Williams has come back, and he's saying that this is affecting not just California, but every city in the United States and all around the world with people of color that they want to eliminate, but they want to use the genes, the genetic pool of DNA, to have the colored blood, those organs, because they're really interchangeable with any race. Have them inside of the body, but then eliminate as many people of color as possible, especially black, people considered black, as possible. He said this is coming up, and they have all the technology to do it and create supermen. He said by taking his genes, his DNA, his plasma, they created this formula and it's basically not just given to him. It created a whole line of formulas that we don't know about, made him a superman. Changed his whole structure. So we need to look at Schwarzenegger, see what he looks now, how well he's doing, or how long it would last him. So it reverses or prevents them from shortening, increases the lifespan. Yes, increases the lifespan of the aging. But then again, if you're doing that to someone like Tookie, like Nipsey, like Malcolm, someone that was very spiritual and highly elevated, and you weren't supposed to kill them and take their life like that, then it only has a certain shelf life because there are curses tied to doing that to someone, especially if they're active on the other side. Like these three are active: Vaughn, Tookie, Nipsey, Eazy-E, my father, Malcolm. A lot of them are active. Tupac's very active. Biggie is very active. DMX is very active. And people think, oh, they're just dead, they're gone. Because you can't see them and you don't know that world doesn't mean they don't exist anymore. And they're not working anymore and talking to people that can hear them and bring their information. Just like I thought of so many similarities. Vaughn got physically killed by people he trusted and did not have a gun. Tupac got trusted in the car, and was in the car with people he physically trusted and didn't have his gun, and the bodyguards weren't allowed to be close to him and have the gun. Biggie was in LA, I think when he got shot, trusted the people. I think his leg was broken at the time. He couldn't really walk or run far. He didn't have a gun, and nobody around him protected him with the gun. Nipsey was shot by people inside of his crew, and Nipsey did not have a gun and did not have a bodyguard to protect him. Do you see this here? You see the connection here. All of them, they got them the same way because they knew those were steppers. Those were killer shooters. Had no problem busting back and defending themselves when they sensed it going on. So they locked them in with people that they trusted. And even if they didn't completely trust them, they weren't going to let them get to the guns. And they were going to have the bodyguards around them with the guns. You see how a lot of this is the same, and these are talking. These ones I mentioned are talking to each other, comparing notes. They were down here gambling earlier and playing cards and drinking. I love them do it. And so I didn't make all chaos food yet. I got some barbecue chicken in there. Shanna brought her over some she wants some chicken tenders. I got that for her. I had cooked the chicken fingers earlier, but she didn't want those. She wanted like the chicken. It looked like real pieces of chicken, the big chicken tenders, and got her the dip she wanted. She wanted a lot of junk food, so I got her tater chips in there. Got they Sprites and stuff in there because that's what she wanted. So I guess her and AA Hella Bands wanted the junk food. So if anybody from Chicago, if they can tell me if the kids around that age or as they grown up, did they play certain games, some type of card games, as well as, I don't know, they shoot they dice and they gamble. I don't know if they play dominoes or anything similar to a dominoes. Because K.I., she's such a sweetie. That's like my baby. She likes to eat the junk food, and she likes the video games, but she also likes the other game. They was playing cards. So the younger ones are hanging out. So I said, okay, I'm going to make food for y'all because y'all don't want no real food, no soul food. All right, baby, because K.I. likes the junk. So I'm going to fix the rest of her stuff and put it out on the altar with her chips and stuff, and I'll finish it tomorrow. Her and Vaughn, I'm going to stay out of it. And I saw a report that really bothered me, which I knew it anyway. It was said that Vaughn shot K.I. They had been stalking each other, and they might have had a little crush on each other, and K.I. was a top shooter. They feared her to be so young and a female and a good shooter. And she would brag about it and drop her location. And I don't know if she shot, y'all can fill me in, if she had shot somebody in Vaughn's gang, and he wanted revenge for that, or she wanted to take them out. I think because someone had killed her brother. I'm not sure if it was Vaughn's gang. Someone from there had murdered her brother, and she was out to get revenge on a really, really good shooter. They rolled the dice. Okay. And they're saying Vaughn shot her by herself, but I didn't see that, and someone else had said there was someone else that also shot her with Vaughn. I asked Vaughn. Vaughn told me he shot K.I. K.I. told me Vaughn shot her. And I'm like, why do you love Vaughn so much when you know this? She said to me, Vaughn asked her to forgive him. Then they be together a lot. They see each other. So they're both over on the same side. She's like, well, it's kind of even. And she loves him like a brother. And he loves her like a sister. Like they were in a karmic agreement. They knew each other in previous lives. And she said they had been through this before. Or they had entanglements. I don't know if she did it to him or she set him up. For some reason, she has so much love for Vaughn. Even though Vaughn, and that really hurt me when someone else told me tonight that they saw and that the police said that Vaughn shot K.I. But I guess they couldn't convict him. I don't know why they let him go on that. Or maybe they couldn't get people to speak. I don't know, but people saw it and they know he did it. But also, I see there was another shooter involved, and I'm wondering, was this a driver? Did somebody drive Vaughn to shoot K.I.? I have to go back and get the name. I'll mention it when I come back. There was another young man with King Vaughn that might have also shot K.I. And what I was told, this young man has also been physically murdered. He's over there. He's come in here as well. And I heard him talk to Vaughn. So most shit finna jump off in Chicago because he said, let's do this drive-by. So when I heard it and I talked to him, I said, okay, what you getting ready to do? Because for you all that don't know, you can still murder someone and catch someone on the other side, or in the Phoenix baby, in the fourth dimension. You can attack someone in that dimension and kill them there, and then it materializes here. So they said Vaughn and the driver that was with him that shot K.I. K.I.'s down with the shit too. You know, she's a real sharp shooter. I don't know if she's a sniper. She might be on that level now, or getting on that level, but she's been trained by snipers because there's some snipers over there too. And they're talking about riding down. They're talking about riding to somebody's house or nearby doing a drive-by that's associated with Bond's gang and associated with a rival gang in Chicago that's their enemy, that was tied to both their murders, King Von and his driver. And something tied around the music industry with the clique that King Von and Lil Durk was in. So I didn't get in it. I'm not in that. I'm out of it. I was just listening so I could tell y'all. And they're like, yes, because a score still needs to be settled. So I just listened and said, okay, fine. I'm going to get out of that. And then, yeah, because I got to watch my time because I'm going to be busy tomorrow. So I'm going to stay up all night. Another thing about the Delta Force, when we were talking about the Delta strain, and I said, no, this is also Delta Force. I looked at this a little bit, but I have to look a little bit deeper. Delta Force would also be military. It would be like a separate branch of special forces that come in and handle things, or will come in, like kick doors in, dominate a certain area, and then force you to comply with the government. And that concerns me because it's the COVID strain that is called Delta, which takes me, Nipsey told me, military. It's tied to military and them forcing you to take a COVID vaccine, or dominating your house, or dominating your streets, your neighborhoods, where you cannot come in and out if you won't take that shot. And even if you take it, your movements will be restricted and monitored, or you might have to stay in the house. Now, for y'all didn't see it, Biden was just saying the other day, they're going to do a door-to-door to make people take that shot if you have not, taken the shot. And also, it's something when I look at Biden, sometimes he looks like a hologram, like he's not there, and then he say stuff, and then he sound confused and jumbled, like he got Alzheimer's, like he don't know what he's saying, and what he's saying don't make no sense. I wonder if they getting ready to make the first woman president of the United States, since it couldn't be Hillary. Are they lining him up to knock his ass off, and letting him make a fool of himself? Or they drugging him, or that the real Biden, or there? I really don't know. When I look at him, I wonder about what's going on with him, because it looks like it's a setup with Biden. And the things he says just does not make no sense. So they may end up getting rid of him and then moving her, the vice president, into becoming the first woman president, to do what Hillary wanted to do, could not be doing. Was it also Shirley Chisholm? I think just to do it, to set an example, or to set an energy. Was it Shirley Chisholm? I think. Correct me. Who was running for president at one time, even though she knew she, wasn't going to win. It was just the point of it, the principle of it. What, in the 70s, the 60s or 70s. I was looking at that, and this same man is, this Delta Force is some type of secret military that we don't know about, that is surrounding states now. And if she showed me military tanks, him and Tookie showed me circles of cities and stadiums in cities where, like, inside of the main city, taking people that are inside of there and doing it to them first, which will be people of color, controlling the food, rationing the food, or contaminating the food and water, and then forcing them first to take the shot, or giving them things, or giving them an incentive. I'll give you a food stamp card, I'll give you a certain amount of money, or benefits or something if you will take this shot. I don't know why. I hope that doesn't mean they're going to make them go into the stadiums, or people have to go there to live, something similar to what they did with the New Orleans when it flooded like that. And then a few months ago, they were taking, like, I think, big auditoriums or stadiums like that and making people line up. Well, no, people were volunteering to line up to get the shot. Even pregnant women were lining up to get the shot. But he said they're talking about bringing the military in and making this mandatory, forcing people to get this and then taking your rights away if you don't, and actually being violent and people being arrested, people being killed. So also Delta scares me, naming that virus, Delta variant, because it would also go to Delta Force, which would be military. That's what Nipsey told me. That's what Tookie told me. He said they've been planning this for a long time. He said during the Daddy Bush era, Reaganomics, Republican, which at this point I wouldn't say I was a Democrat, knowing what I know and the whole system behind that. Basically, both parties are owned by the same party. Man behind the strings, behind the curtain that you can't see. Shifting the system, removing the currency, resetting the currency so that a lot of people will not be able to get any money or even the new money or resources that they need. So this is where we're going, and Tookie is actually talking to one of the higher vibration beings, one of the angelic beings that are coming down, blowing the trumpet, which would also be associated with Gabriel, but also the death angel that's also a part of both of these with Nipsey's camp and Von's camp, Azrael, and the Zazel, the scapegoat, the Judas sheep. You're going to see a lot of betrayal going on both these camps, and even coming up with King Von's trial. It looks like with Lil Tim, they're going to try to just really find this boy not guilty, because they've already now saying, I saw a report where it's saying that King Von, the police in Chicago saying King Von killed K.I., vicious, violent killer, showing he has a reign, like he's an animal, he's a professional hitman, he's a murderer, this is all he does, he's very violent, and releasing that right now. You see what I'm saying? Releasing that during the period where a man is out on bond right now for King Von's murder. It's going to be, and then saying, well, it was self-defense. Look at how he attacked my cousin. You see, they're lining this up. They couldn't do that in this case with Nipsey, but they're still trashing his name, trying to destroy him, putting this off. This is a political case with Nipsey. It's not about justice in court. If he gets justice, it will not be justice inside of a courtroom. Because there's something going on with Eric Holder, and I'm going to get into that in another reading because I wonder where he is and what he's doing. But he's clearly being protected. And this is not about justice for Nipsey Hussle. This is about something totally deeper, and it was orchestrated for something totally deeper. And Nipsey was also holding up contracts because he did not want to sell the marathon. They wanted to tear that down. They wanted to get rid of his whole agenda. All these so-called business partners that were with him and with their projects and part owners were not about that agenda, and they wanted to get him out of the way, and Nipsey would not bend or break. Along with, he was an owner of the hamburger chain that was it Fatburger? That was right beside there, and someone in there that was higher up too wanted secretly. They made a lot of money off of Nipsey's physical death. Okay. So they really don't want to punish this guy. And then I've said to you at the beginning, I still say it now, Eric Holder is not the only shooter here. If that was Nipsey on the footage, that is not the day that happened. That's a Nipsey look-alike, and it was switched around to match that day and that time, which is a very Masonic time, 3 o'clock, 3:30 on that Sunday, which would be Sunday. It's like a worship day that's really not for us, that they tell you is for us. It was all orchestrated for the Masons and for their God, Satan, to give him to them. Right there on the property, of blood offering, a blood sacrifice right there on that man's property. Whenever someone's killed on a particular property, especially if it's someone they own, they usually sign some type of agreement that was tied to the property, and it was a very satanic agreement, and we know what that was because it was a music agreement, and all of those are satanic. All of the record companies are owned by Satan. Okay. That's how you get your power in this world. That is the ruler of this world. You don't believe me? You Christians, read your Bible. God says in the Bible, I have given Satan dominion over the earth for until an appointed time, till I come and put him in the pit, because he is my creation. That's what your Bible says. And Satan knows that better than you. So those, I know, that's who I know. And plus I've dealt with them, and I've been in entertainment, and I've been given those contracts. And some of them I have refused to sign. And you know why. If you follow me and listen to my readings, you know that I know. Because the demons come right in here. And they tell me. That's how I know, because they tell me. So those are the ones that would know. Because they rule this world. And they rule that industry. Anything deals with a lot of money, they rule it, and God gave them dominion over it. Now, if you want to call me a liar, go read your Bible. And then come back and then call me a liar. Because it's in your good book. So they did this to Nipsey, and this is not the only shooter. And the agenda was not an argument between two homeboys, because everything I've said, you have seen this materialize right in front of your eyes. And I see the same thing when I look at King Von. This is a political agenda. This is a very demonic and satanic agenda, and this political agenda deals with power, control, real estate, your constitutional rights, your currency and money that they don't want you to have, and your power, and an elimination, a reduction of a certain amount of the population for control. And then, as Tookie said, shifting to the Terminator cell, the demolition man agenda, where man merges with machine and go out of space. As I've told you with Nipsey, NASA, Navy. Matter of fact, when I got through doing that reading last night, if you all have followed my readings from the very beginning, I mentioned Atlantic Records, Atlantic Railroad, Atlanta/Atlantis. But I didn't realize when I started doing these readings that Cali goes right to Atlanta, with the Rolling 60s, with the music industry, with the rap industry, with the GDs, with the BDs, with money, currency, jail, legal, illegal. All of these things go hand in hand. And I mentioned with Richard Branson, was he over, what do you call it? It's a record label he has, but also a airline, a airplane. And I saw that was attached to NASA and going out of space. And it is, because Richard Branson owns an airline, and he's changed the name or added to that name. It is now a spaceship, because it went up yesterday, or it went up last night. Look it up if you think I'm making this up. And I've mentioned this before. This is absolutely amazing. These people are creating space stations, space houses, space food, taking humans there, monkeys there, animals there, everything they want up there, living there. And then it's just like, I remember a movie with Bruce Willis where they had destroyed the earth so bad, polluted it, that humans couldn't live on it. They then made the cars that fly above the ground, and you live above the ground in these towers, because the earth had been destroyed. And just like you deal with Matrix with Keanu Reeves, Lawrence Fishburne, part 1, part 2, part 3. You really need to look at part 1 for you all that have not looked at part 1, because we are now in that era where man meets machine, man merges with machine. It's Elon Musk, billionaire, and then the one, is it Richard Branson? 2 billionaires battling to go up out of space. So you know they don't just do that. They have to be a part of the secret society and the Masonic agenda and NASA that allows them to share the universe that also belongs to us and our ancestors, same extraterrestrials. Don't think that there's just one race of extraterrestrials up there and they only talk to them and they don't talk to us. Our communication has been blocked. We don't have the technology. We don't have people. And we do, let me take that back before I say that. We do have people in technology that are inside of there, but you don't see them. They take oaths. They sign agreements where they cannot speak about who they are and what they do. Oh, there are black people that work at NASA. There are black people that are very highly intelligent and very brainy and creators and scientists. We just don't know. We just don't see them, and we are not privy to the high level of science and knowledge and extraterrestrials that they know about and that they see. As a matter of fact, you can be, because they walk among us all the time. They try to speak to you, especially people that try to say, the doctors try to say, oh, there's something wrong with your ears. We have the ringing or the high-pitched beep in your ears. That's not always the case. There's not something always wrong with you. Many times it's ET trying to phone home, trying to establish a connection with you that you won't listen to, and you're so closed and blocked off you don't even know that it's happening. They're trying to phone home and tune you up and raise your frequency so that you can hear them, if you have those psychic abilities. Any type of psychic ability. You don't have to have all of them, but if you have some they can tap into, they'll know and they'll follow you, and you need to start to develop them, and also change your diet and change who you screw. Because who you have sex with also determines if you can hear them when they come around. They're walking around looking for people to talk to, looking for people to hear them and engage and to tell you things that you need to know. But many of these things that you need to know, they're telling you, they'll say you have a mental problem. And if it's not about Jesus, and it's not about church, it's not real, and it does not exist. So you believe that, and then you lose out, and that's your decision. That's your choice. Whoever's supposed to wake up this time and to know, then you will. Unfortunately, I hate it when people say, oh, what are we going to do? This is happening, that's happening, you said this, you said that. I'm not the only one that said it. I'm not the first person that said it. I won't be the last person that said it. It's in your Bible. Go read Revelation. Go read the other books where this is prophesied and these things are seen to come. Read Behold the Pale Horse, William Cooper, and they shot him down in the yard for revealing these things. He's also ex-military, so he would know. He saw these things up close. Go look at old videos, the ones they have on the race so you can't see. And you won't know because they want you dumb, want you high, want you listen to mumble rap, want you get distracted on bullshit and what entertainers are doing and what entertainers are saying, while they're already, most of them are, they took the oath. They're going to die like everybody else, but they took the oath and they're going to be protected from a lot of things we're not protected from. So these people, a lot of people are waiting for a savior to come get them. They're waiting for Jesus. Hey, do your thing. You believe Jesus is going to come save you? I can't say Jesus is not. I just ain't waiting for that because I don't see what that's materializing, because the same Jesus that you pray for gives everybody else the world and gives you hell and shoots your niggas down like animals to bleed and they blood to run down the street and fucking sewer and say I can't fucking breathe. So you want to call that one? Hey, call that one. I don't judge it because you get mad at me when I ask you to question the logic of who you're calling that don't answer, or when they answer, it's like the song, it's a hard knock life. Instead of treated, you get tricked. Instead of kisses, you get kicked. When you call this Jesus, but it's, that's what you like. So, I'm not going to condemn your decision. I got to come back and do the rest of the part with the cards. I just want to go over some of the things that have already happened within the 24 hours since I've been here, and say a few of the things that you all need to look out for, and start to stock up on your food, your water, non-perishable food items. Even move if you can outside the city. Wherever you go, that's up to you, but you need to get outside of the hot zone while the niggas at and selling dope, depending on a lot of food stamp and aid, and people don't believe they can take care of themselves, like in the inner cities around a certain perimeter, wherever you live at, because I don't know the layout, because Nipsey was showing me layouts, blueprints, and designs of every city, and he was sitting there talking to Tookie, and Nipsey was going down in the map. I haven't gone down in the map yet. I have to look at the map, so I can't go tell you what they're saying tonight. And to be honest with you, I'm not going to keep doing these readings in public because it's not safe for me. I'm not very comfortable, and a lot of people don't donate to me anyway, so it doesn't benefit me to continue to give all this knowledge away, and my life has been threatened. And then even to talk about these new people with this Vaughn situation and what is going on with that and people involved, they give me the creeps, the fucking chills. Some of these people are so, I'm talking about black people. And I heard the FBI, these are white men that work for the FBI, that said the most vicious psychopath and the highest percentage of psychopaths in the U.S. are white men. I kind of beg to differ. They might have more of them, but it's a whole bunch of nigger psychopaths in this bitch. Y'all teaching, I will never listen to any conscious motherfucker tell me the black man is God. Yeah, you're a black devil. That's what God you are. That was the first devil, the black God. But you are so peaceful, and it's the white man, the most vicious. When I look at these cases with King Von and King Nipsey Hussle and how this has gone on so long, and the depravity and the reprobate mind of a lot of these black men, so-called men that protect you and have your back and so peaceful and God-loving, I would never go to sleep around one of these motherfuckers. I wouldn't drink no water they give me. I would not eat, and I wouldn't be around them without my goddamn gun, because these men don't like women. A lot of them think they're women themselves. They look big and muscular on the outside, but they mess with men. Or they're bisexual, and they are professional hitmen, and they are informants. Like this guy, the one we were talking about last night, the one that Vaughn feels so uncomfortable, and you could see Vaughn's body tighten up, and he turned his back to this OTF. What is his name? Is it Bait? What is his name? OTF Baylo. Not Baylo, the cousin. What did we call? What's his name? Because for some reason I can't see the words on here. I can't see anything. Y'all know who I'm talking about? Okay, now to the words. The one that they accused of shooting Hellerman's, Bezu. Oh boy. That one lives here in Atlanta, and I think he's in the music industry as well. That is a monster right there. From what I can see in the spirit and just looking at his picture and looking at his eyes, that is an animal. I would not provoke that one. I wouldn't be around him unarmed. Because if he comes after you, and this one is a killer who has killed, but I get a sense he's older than King Von and Hellerbands. I wonder how old he is. I wonder if he's in his 30s, because he seems older. Well, that's his initiation to get in and give some sacrifices for Juvenile. If he dropped the remix on Getting Vaccines, I saw that. I just didn't listen to it. The Besu reminds me, the only way I can tell you this, a scene, this is the scene, and you all that have seen Scarface is going to know this scene. For you all that have never seen Al Pacino and Scarface, you can go find the scene on YouTube. This is the vibe I get from OTF Besu. I hope he never comes across my videos. Woo, because I don't want to offend him, boy. I don't know if he kills women, but, I wouldn't put it past him, or have somebody roll with him that do it. Maybe women hang around him that's just like him. What he reminds me of, if you go to YouTube, type in the Scarface chainsaw scene. The bathtub scene. For you all that saw Scarface and Al Pacino, he had come, Scarface with Al Pacino's character, was making a drug deal. And he had met some people he did not know, and they were in Miami in a little hotel. And the people, it was a lady, and she looked just like a ugly ass cradle-faced man. She looked like she was laying there watching TV. but she had a machine gun under the pillow. And, yep, they were in Miami. Oh, Gwen, I just got that. That's where Hella Bands was killed, in Miami. I just got the connection, and they said that it looked like Bezu was down there in Miami when Hella Bands got killed, and that it looked like Bezu running across the street when the news people had the footage of someone running in the opposite direction. People said it looked like him. Damn, Gwen. I didn't get what I was saying until you just said it. Both of those scenes took place in Miami. Both of those deaths took place in Miami, and for some reason he reminded me of Miami and the Scarface scene. There's one of the characters I told you that's on him. Jason, Freddy Krueger. Wow, that just blew my mind. Did I say some shit like that? He's one of those type that's a real fucking goon. Okay? You see, now Vaughn was a killer and a stepper, but even Vaughn tightened his asshole up sitting by this motherfucker. And this guy is so much bigger, though, than Vaughn. Yes, thank you, Josie. He gives me a Michael Myers vibe. Because he will come up on you and he's big like that. And no, I'm telling you, this guy really will do these things. This guy is not somebody that's a wannabe. No, this guy's not to be fucked with, played with. Huh? I think if you research him and anybody knows him, knows that he's not to be played with. This OT of Basil. And they said he's muscle for Dirk. I believe it. Anybody had any sense would want to be muscle too, because this guy is very smooth and very charismatic and very sneaky. Even though he's big like that, he's vicious and he's bloody. Bloody, and will get surgical really quickly against another black man, have no remorse, and move out very quickly. That's what I see. He reminds me of that Scarface scene where they act like they want to do a drug deal with Al Pacino, and Al Pacino's partner was outside looking at women, digging in their ass instead of watching his partner. And when he realized they didn't have the drugs, they were arguing back and forth. You got the drugs, you got the money. You got the drugs, you got the money. I got the drugs, I got the money. Where's it? It's not here. And he said, wow. And Al Pacino said, why don't y'all stop fucking around? Then the ugly bitch that looked like an old bulldog with them potholes and shit in her fucking face pulls the gun from underneath the pillow. And you didn't know it was there and started speaking in Spanish. Al Pacino's friend, they then take him into the bathroom and said, you're going to tell us where the money is? You're going to tell us where the drug? He was like, no. He said, we're going to kill both of you. They handcuff his hands to the shower rod. Al Pacino's friend, who's playing Scarface, start to turn on a chainsaw and cut this man's body parts off while he's literally still alive and breathing, wide awake. And Al Pacino's turning his face away because that's his friend. He turns it back and he makes him watch this. While the other guy still doesn't know what's going on. He's down there so consumed with women. Then he started to realize, wait a minute. They're not coming out. So his friend is basically losing consciousness, of course, because he's bleeding out. He's cutting major parts of this man's body with a big chainsaw. Viciously doing this. So when his friend comes in, he's able to shoot them, and they're able to kill the woman and the man. But that friend, of course, did not make it. And for some reason, this guy reminds me of that. I hate to say it. That's how chilling. I saw him do something. I'm not going to get into what I just cold-blooded, what I saw him do. I don't know, but he did it. Someone else knows he did this. I don't know if he was arrested for it or he was rewarded and just wasn't caught or found out about it, but he's committed. He has a lot of bodies on him. And Bond was confirming this. And now we know he was, I'm not sure if he was present when Bond was shot here in Atlanta, but they're saying he was present in Miami. It's so heartbreaking to me because these young black boys are raised to hate each other, kill each other, have nothing, no resources to survive, and have to gang up and click up and fight to survive on the very bare minimum. And then the guns are dropped off and given to them, the drugs are dropped off and given to them, and they're taught to hate each other based on what race you on, what side of town, what the name of the street that you live on, and then they kill each other. They leave babies and families behind, then they go to jail and then kill each other, and then get caught up in homosexuality, which is fine if you want to be a homosexual, you want to be a gay man, that's fine, that's not what I'm saying. Because it's been gay people since the Bible, but you force them into that situation with no protection, no condoms, which breeds disease. So they die in there or they get infected in there, and then they come out and infect women, and then again have another level of death in another generation of fatherless children and women with no protection. And it's basically a 360-degree cycle, and then dealing with government and being a convicted felon, not being able to go to school, not being able to get a job, not being able to get a decent wage, being on paper for long periods of time. They have to pay for the time you're on paper, have to pay for your monitor. Do you see what I'm saying? Have to pay while you're in jail for phone, for food. The prison industrial complex, and then give you a rap. People get in the rap to get out. Now that is a guaranteed way to die. Get locked into the prison industrial complex if you don't rap about that, and killing each other and fucking women and getting rid of the seed. That's another cycle, the seed of abortion. This the cycle of abortion, which is another form of genocide. Literally self-murder. You're killing portions of yourself, portions of the man, and that's okay with them. All of these cycles of murder, self-murder, self-hatred, self-exploitation, this vicious cycle that will keep that bloodline and those groups down forever, and you can't even see you're doing it to yourself. It's heartbreaking. It's very depressing. And you know, I've been inside of that, dealing with my own child, and I see that, and then they encourage you get in there, and then when you die, your family gets nothing, very little. But if you're a rapper, that usually that company that brings you in through distribution, or a dealer who owns your publishing or some of it, they make millions off of you, and they cash in all those policies off of your death. And have the laws to back it up and keep the jails full with their private agreements. And so I was talking to Kay and Vaughn tonight, and I said, you know what? I'm going to put your food out, and I'm going to let you two work this out, since you said you did this to her, and she said you did it to her, and your friend did it to her. Y'all were on different gangs, opposing gangs. Y'all want to make peace with each other. You forgive him. He said he loves you too. I am not going to force you out of here. I am not going to turn on either one of you. If you both love each other and you both want to work this out and you both want to stay here, you always have a home here with me. I love you both. You're both like my children. And K.I. is like a daughter I never had. She's a sweet baby. So I have to see what game she wants. That's why I asked you all, do you know what games they play? Because she showed me a domino for some reason. I don't know if she ever liked dominoes or played the dominoes or something in this video game that she likes. And she won't let me cook her a whole meal. She likes the junk. So I said, fine, I will make you the junk food and put it there. And but that breaks my heart. I hate to have to meet her under these circumstances. But, you know, they've helped me evolve and mature. Because I said, do you want me to? Y'all don't want to break up? You want to stay here? You want to work through this as brother and sister? You want to love each other? And they said, yes, we want to love each other. And I said, well, I'll let you stay here. Yeah. And I'm going to stay out of it unless you all put me in it. I'm going to do my thing, and I'm going to let you all work through this thing. And then you all tell me what you come up with, what you decide. So it's late. Of course, you see my phone is gone now. I can't get into the card part of I thought about this baby thing, but it's drama, arguing, jealousy, and competition with the baby thing again. But also this woman, they're celebrating, feeling like they come up, more money, more opportunity. I guess some type of fame and fortune from having this baby by Vaughn. So when I can, I'm going to come back and finish this and see what other scientific and legal things that Nipsey and Tookie Williams, the California Crip God, really, really deep man, very, very brilliant man. The things they are seeing. But again, like I said, I'm not comfortable. I've given so much information, and it's stuff that I really don't like saying. I don't like saying these things in public. I don't feel comfortable. I'm going to stop. I think I've said enough to tell people some of the things they need to know, and to go research on your own, and to prepare, because these things are coming whether you like it or not. Nobody can stop it. It's just good to be forewarned, to get forearmed. We're going to see these things. These things they said are happening right now. Like right now. They're trying to impose this shit right the fuck now. Because Governor Brian Kemp of Georgia said he wasn't going for the shit and making nobody take no shot and knock on somebody's door. And for, I mean, this is in real time. What I am telling you, that Nipsey and Tookie Williams see, and they're trying to implement the law, implement even martial law, overthrow your constitutional rights, the behold the pill. The white horse is riding. I'm going to go now. If you want to donate to me, I still have my PayPal, I have my Zelle. I think people that are donating to me now, I'll put that link up there. But yeah, this is just really creepy to me. A lot of things don't seem to creeping me out. I tell you what I can, but a lot of things I don't tell you. I tell you enough though, but I don't tell you everything. Because I know how that goes. Y'all will get someone to tell you something. And yeah, you can call me Alexis. Please don't call me Auntie. I don't like that. If I'm not your real aunt, don't call me Auntie. I think that's demeaning. I think it's insulting. I've said that plenty of times. You call somebody out of their name, and you didn't ask me, could you call that? I don't think it's cute. I think you're calling somebody old, and you're insulting them. And even if I am older than you, that's fine. Chronologically older than you, you probably meant no harm. I'm not saying you did, but I don't even do that to my elders. I never go up to someone that I know is chronologically older than me, no matter how much I admire and respect. I don't just start saying, "Oh, mom or aunt, auntie." I don't think that's respectful. They didn't want me to call them auntie. They didn't say I could call them that. They didn't say I could call them. And to me, if that's not your name, I can't just put a name on you that I want to be on you. So because I've had so many people say little derogatory, so many bitches say derogatory slick shit. No, I'm not saying you did. I'm just explaining. Say shit. I don't like that, because y'all think, a lot of people think you can just, black people think that black people are real good at that. So-called black people. You can just put a name on somebody based on their age and just call them what the fuck you want to call them. And that's cool, and they let you do that. I'm not going to let you do that. Because I don't think nobody has the right, because I don't do it. And unless somebody says, call me this, call me that. You don't have the right to degrade and humiliate somebody, and then the whole group of black motherfuckers jump in the shit. Well, I'm going to call it because everybody, that's what we do. No, that's not what you do to me. That's not what we do to me. You don't have to talk to me. You don't have to come around. It's certain stuff I'm not going to let you do to me. I don't, especially doing videos for free. I don't have to do videos for free. I'll stop doing them before I let you insult me. I'll be on my page and do what the fuck you want to do to me because you told that's what you do to the group or a particular race. No, you do that to them and they let you do that shit to them. This is my world and I determine how I'm treated. So that's why I don't allow that because too many motherfucking slick mouth black bitches want to do that shit. Want to try to fuck with me because you can't find nothing else on me to fuck with. Okay, so I'm not gonna no. But I'm not mad at you, dear. I know you. I haven't seen you here before, so I don't think you meant that. I don't know you, so I'm not talking to you. Okay. Anyway, just made it clear so whoever hears this video can hear that I'm not talking to you because I think you meant it in a bad way. But ain't no old bitch on no stick over here. Okay. Rubbing no motherfucking Ben Gay on their knees, no icy hot on their hip, bitch. And it ain't that. It ain't gonna never fucking be that shit. Anyway, I gotta go, and I'll come back when I can. I love y'all. I'll talk to you soon.